Hello, Marina Barnes here. I'd like to share with you what I've learned at a Mindful Self-Compassion course that I took in December of 2017. It was taught by the creators of the course, who are Dr. Kristen Neff. She's a research scientist in self-compassion, and Dr. Chris Germer, who's a psychotherapist. I'll begin with talking about what is mindfulness, followed by what is self-compassion, and then connecting the two with mindful self-compassion. Jon Kabat-Zinn defines mindfulness as the awareness that arises through paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. What this means is that if we can bring our attention to what's happening right now without judging what's happening right now, we're creating space for an awareness to arise. And through this awareness, we can see our lives more clearly because judgments tend to color the truth. Our minds can either be in the past, in the present, or in the future. And when we're in the past, we tend to recall all the things that aren't working in our lives. And when we dwell on those thoughts too much, it can lead to depression. Similarly, when we're planning for the future, we're thinking about all the things that might go wrong. And when we spend too much time doing that, it can lead to anxiety. So by bringing our attention to what's happening right now, we can't be in the past. So in that moment, we're letting go of depression. Similarly, when we can focus on the present without any judgment, we can be in the future. And so in that moment, we're letting go of anxiety. Mindfulness retrain our minds to spend more of our waking moments in the present moment. So just like exercise enhances our physical well-being, mindfulness enhances our mental well-being. Self-compassion is treating yourself as you would a friend when you're struggling. And when we're struggling, we tend to be in one of these three states and we may oscillate between them. The first is rumination, and this is replaying a negative thought over and over again. And we get caught in this loop, so much so that it is really hard to jump out and explore what solutions we might need to alleviate our struggle. A ruminating thought can be a self-critical thought. And when self-criticism is really harsh, we are in this fight or flight mode. And when we're stuck here, it is really hard to tap into any internal resources that we might have to be with, yet alone move through our struggle. And when we are ruminating or being really self-critical, we get depressed and anxious. And when we're depressed, we tend to pull ourselves away from our family and friends. And this is the time we need them the most to help us with our struggle, with their love and their support. So we can meet our struggle in a different way with mindful self-compassion. The first component is mindfulness, recognizing that this is a moment of struggle and being aware that in this moment, I have a choice. I can meet this moment of struggle with my habitual response, which might be self-criticism, or I can choose to meet it in a different way, perhaps with mindful self-compassion. The second component is common humanity, knowing that everybody struggles in life and that when I struggle, I'm not alone in my struggle. The third component is compassion. And compassion is seeing the struggle in ourselves and in others and really wanting to alleviate that struggle. And in mindful self-compassion, we are alleviating our own struggle by meeting it with kindness, with care, and with love. There are two ways that we can be kind to ourselves. The first is with a soothing touch. So something like right hand over your heart, left hand over your heart, both hands over your heart. I really like this one because I can feel the pressure of my hands over my heart, and it really feels like someone's got me, and that someone is me, so I've got me. Other gestures are right chin resting in right hand, left chin resting in left hand, or cupping your chin with both hands. So experiment with gestures that work for you because what works for me might not work for you. Another way that we can be kind to ourselves is with a soft, gentle voice. It really doesn't matter what's being said as long as it is soft and gentle. A universal word that produces a gentle sound is ah. So we can meet our struggle with mindful self-compassion. And when we do that, we're able to let go of depression and anxiety. We're being kinder to ourselves, so it's much easier to be with and to move through our struggle. So we're building resilience towards life's challenges. And when we can do this, we're enhancing our overall well-being. There are 3 core practices to mindful self-compassion. I've listed the links here with the name and the duration of each practice. So I encourage you to try all of them and to engage in them as often as you're able to really build that mindful self-compassion muscle. There are many informal practices, and I really like the self-compassion break because it helps you to embody the 3 components of mindful self-compassion, which are mindfulness, common humanity, and compassion. Obvious resources are Dr. Kristin Neff's and Dr. Chris Kurma's websites. You can learn more about them, their work, their calendar of events. And these are good places to land for practice because there are a lot of guided meditations offered on their websites. If you're interested in taking a course locally, the Awareness and Relaxation Training website offers many mindfulness courses in addition to the Mindful Self-Compassion course. Lastly, I'd like to leave you with this quote by Dr. Chris Germer, and I encourage you to take a moment to reflect upon it after this video. A moment of self-compassion can change your entire day. A string of such moments can change the course of your life.